Welcome to Lumenverse, where tranquil fantasy lullabies find home, free from distractions or commercials. Tonight, we weave a peaceful tale of a misty forest, where compassion wields profound power, and dreams echo in the soft whispers of streams. May your tranquil journey resonate, and if you find joy in this tale, don't forget to subscribe and visit again for soothing narratives to guide you into dreamscapes. Comfortably settle in, let the day fade away, and allow the story to envelop you in its warmth. Long ago, within a forgotten corner of the expansive realm, embraced by mist-cloaked hills and hushed glades, there existed a tranquil haven known as the Whispering Hollow. This secret retreat was seldom charted on cartographic maps, for discovering it seldom resulted from conscious efforts. The hollow didn't clamor for attention. Instead, it patiently awaited the arrival of weary souls, offering solace to those who stumbled upon its concealed existence. In this secluded valley, in one moss-encrusted cottage draped with ivy curtains, dwelled Neva, a kind-hearted soul whose presence often sparked assumptions of mystical talents. Tether, an oversized white moth with wings as silent as shadows, fluttered faithfully behind her like a delicate silhouette of silk. Tether had materialized on Neva's doorstep one evening and remained ever since, finding refuge in her presence. Sensing a kindred spirit, Neva never questioned the reason behind Tether's arrival, leaving the mystery to unfold as it would. One morning, a peculiar hum, akin to an intangible lullaby carried on misty wings, stirred Neva from her slumber. Such inexplicable occurrences like streams that flowed backwards, and trees that bloomed in the darkest hours, weren't uncommon in the Whispering Hollow. Neva ventured through dew-spangled meadows and delved into a shadowy grove that housed an ancient and fractured stone ring. Its haunting presence whispered with an otherworldly hum, its significance lost in time. Drawing closer, she paused to murmur, "What do you need?" In return, a gentle warmth enveloped her, emanating from the stone, a warmth reminiscent of firelight embraced within one's hands. That very night, a peculiar storm approached, not brought on by raging winds or cascading rain, but rather a hushed stillness encompassing both sentient and inanimate beings. Upon awakening the following day, an unusual knock graced Neva's tranquil abode. Such occurrences were uncommon in the Whispering Hollow, as visits seldom graced their hidden corner of the world. As an unexpected young traveler stood at her doorstep clad in woolen garments, his weary gaze and voice reminiscent of cascading leaves, he gently announced, "I believe I'm lost." Neva, unhesitating, replied, "You're precisely where you're meant to be," opening the door wider to welcome him into her home. In Kalen's dreams that very night, the stone ring featured prominently, emanating a luminous glow that unveiled fleeting portals, akin to ethereal pages of forgotten tales. Neva appeared within the dream, her words echoing like whispers on a breeze, stating, "Each soul bears a story. Move forward, we must remember." Awakening with tears inexplicable, he found Neva standing by the doorstep, her gaze calm and understanding. This scene was not unfamiliar to her, as the Whispering Hollow's profound capacity to listen and listen deeply was a known phenomenon. Gradually, the Whispering Hollow embraced Kalen as if he were a cherished memory, gently encircling him with its magical presence. Under the guidance of Neva, he learned to heed the whispers of the rustling foliage, harvest luminescent herbs, and nurture the ethereal moonflowers that bloomed only in response to joyous laughter. In turn, Tether's delicate presence added a comforting touch, with the moth finding comfort upon Kalen's shoulder, as if silently stating, "You are now an essential part of this place." As the stone ring's hum intensified, both Kalen and Neva approached it, drawn by the spectacle it presented. Within the center of the ring, a pathway materialized, composed of radiant lanterns suspended in the misty air. Glancing at Neva, Kalen inquired, "Should I follow it?" Neva's smile held a touch of melancholic understanding. "It's not about leaving, but rather remembering," she replied, placing a gentle hand upon his chest. "Wherever your path may lead, carry the essence of the Whispering Hollow within your heart." With a steady determination, Kalen stepped through the ethereal pathway of lanterns, finding himself transported into the realm of forgotten memories, where fragments of his past converged. He traversed fragments of a lullaby sang by a mother, the echoes of a promise made beside a river, and the lingering sorrow left abandoned on a hillside. Gradually, tranquility enveloped him. Returning to the Whispering Hollow, Kalen found himself a day later, but Neva could sense that his absence spanned a considerably longer period in the outside world. Despite his experiences within the lantern pathway, Kalen remained silent, though there was a noticeable difference in the depth of his gaze. He chose to remain in the Whispering Hollow for some time after, aiding Neva, observing the flourishing garden that radiated with an ethereal glow, and sharing moments of quiet joy when the moonflowers bloomed under her care. One early morning, upon awakening, Neva found the young traveler missing, leaving behind an enigmatic stone ring humming with a gentle glow and a garden that seemed to possess an almost magical aura. The Whispering Hollow is elusive, appearing only to those who most require its solace, and in its presence the wind whispers to the soul, while even the moss beneath your feet seems to exude a soothing warmth. Should you stumble upon an ethereal haven adorned with ivy curtains and steeped in nostalgia, offer a greeting to the kind woman who serves a tea that holds the essence of lost memories. Whisper to her that Tether sends her regards. Time continued to weave its delicate thread, with the Whispering Hollow gracefully transitioning through the seasons. Winter draped the land in a serene and peaceful embrace, and the first buds of spring emerged with a soft and gentle laughter, painting the countryside in a fresh hue of pale green. Neva embraced the simple rhythm of her days, lovingly tending to her garden, stirring honey into her tea, and occasionally finding herself lost in contemplation while gazing upon the faintly glowing stone ring, often pondering the whereabouts of the young traveler, Kalen. Despite the passage of time, Neva's solitude was never fully palpable, for the Whispering Hollow continued to hum softly, maintaining its steadfast presence. Birds flitted through, exchanging tales on the wind, while Tether the moth gracefully swirled within the ambient glow, embodying a whisper come to life with every flutter of its wings. Occasionally, curious children from the distant hills would find their way into the hidden valley, stumbling upon it almost by accident or perhaps fate. Their brief sojourns culminated in their pockets filled with shimmering seeds, and no recollection of how they had wandered into such an elusive place. As the Whispering Hollow lay immersed in the gentle pitter-patter of raindrops, a series of measured knocks on the door shattered the tranquility. Neva opened it with deliberate slowness. Standing at the threshold was a wanderer, neither young nor old, his eyes wise yet kind, his shoulders broad and robust from traversing countless paths, and his cloak clinging to his figure, bearing the traces of faraway lands. Yet, despite all the changes, one thing remained constant, his warm and familiar smile. Kalen, still wrapped in a comforting blanket, broke the tranquility by softly greeting, "Hello, Neva." Neva responded not with words, but with silent actions. He carefully enveloped him in a warm embrace and handed him a steaming mug of tea, a blend that held the essence of a profound sense of belonging. Amidst the backdrop of the falling rain, Kalen found refuge beside the hearth, a comforting glow illuminating the room. Tether quietly perched beside him, while a peaceful silence settled like a soft blanket over their shared space. In the gentle touch of night, Neva and Kalen found themselves seated beneath the vast expanse of stars, their breaths visible in the cool, crisp air. Tiny fireflies danced around them as if they were wandering thoughts, igniting the surroundings in an enchanting display. Kalen's words broke the silence, his voice carrying a sense of understanding. "I now comprehend," he uttered softly. Neva looked upon him with eyes that held a soothing gaze, listening intently. "The Whispering Hollow," he continued, "it's alive, and it grants people not answers but moments to rediscover themselves." The Whispering Hollow persevered steadfastly, patiently awaiting all manner of wanderers, dreamers, and seekers who had misplaced something beyond description. It moved without haste, never clamoring for attention, yet its presence could be sensed in the gentle rain, the whispers of the wind, and even within the steady rhythm of a heartbeat. Should one genuinely listen, a spiral garden might manifest before them, with a white moth gently brushing against their shoulder, followed by the warm invitation of tea that resonated with the essence of forgotten memories. As the night lingered, a tranquil silence enveloped the Whispering Hollow, lulling both Neva and Kalen into a peaceful rest. Kalen dozed off, the comforting aromas of mint and smoke embracing them. Tether, the silent white moth, found solace as well, settling on a pillow with a soft flutter of wings and the quiet lullaby of its own dreams. But, within the realm of the hollow, dreams were quite distinct. In the very core of the Whispering Hollow, tucked beneath the roots of old elder trees, and among memories of fleeting moments, there existed another garden. Within the mystical confines of the dream world, Neva found herself barefoot upon a gently pulsating soil, surrounded by blossoms that glowed with a soft blue, gold, and purple effulgence. The air felt pleasantly cool, akin to the twilight hours on a mountain summit. A familiar voice, reminiscent of flowing water and the comforting caress of smooth stones, echoed in the atmosphere. "Welcome back," the voice said, resonating softly. Upon turning, Neva beheld the essence of the Whispering Hollow. Though it held no particular shape or form, it felt like a shimmer, a soothing glow. Neva found a comfortable seat on the luminous ground, her voice inquisitive as she posed her query. "Why now? Why this dream?" The hollow responded gently, its essence woven into the very fabric of the dream's tapestry. "Because you are whole. And now, it's the opportune moment to begin anew." Neva gazed upward, witnessing the celestial dance of stars that wove tales across the expansive sky. Amidst these cosmic narratives, she discerned glimpses of her own past, of Kalen's youthful curiosity, of sowing the very first seed within this fertile soil. Neva awakened to the gentle caress of sunlight upon her face, and the garden greeted her with a symphony of avian tunes and dewdrop harmonies. Kalen was already diligently engaged in repairing the stone border surrounding a patch of golden squash. Tether leisurely fluttered around the window, a tranquil presence. The tranquility of the landscape seemed unchanged, yet somehow, everything felt different. During breakfast, Neva found herself drawn to confide in Kalen. "I dreamt of the hollow last night," she shared quietly. Neva carefully packed 3 warm loaves of bread into her satchel, along with a jar of honey, and penned a simple note. "For the next who wanders, you are welcome here." She placed the bundle just beyond the entrance to the spiraling garden, where its gentle embrace welcomed the lost wanderer who would soon approach. Returning to her home, Neva found comfort in the familiar sounds of life, the singing kettle and Kalen's melodious hums as he labored diligently. The passage of days in the Whispering Hollow adopted a calm rhythm, akin to music, with the soft sound of bread rising at dawn's gentle touch, the gentle clink of tools in Kalen's hands, and Tether's drowsy chirps, fluttering from one window ledge to the next. Neva tended her herbs, her humming blending with ancient lullabies. Just as dusk draped the sky in hues of rose and lavender, Neva found herself standing on the edge of the garden, gazing toward the distant hills. Kalen, his hands wiped clean on a cloth, stepped up beside her. Neva's nod indicated a sense of anticipation. "Or something old, a memory perhaps," she murmured. That night, insomnia enveloped both of them, leading them to walk the spiral path armed with lanterns. They progressed purposefully, yet without haste or trepidation, as though reacquainting themselves with a destination they subconsciously recognized. That night, the spiral path ventured deeper than usual, and the moon sat full and bright in the sky. The Whispering Hollow was alive, its energy almost tangible in the air. As they ventured deeper into the wooded path, they discovered a new grove adorned with luminous lanterns, suspended from willow branches like thoughtful fireflies. Amidst these ethereal lights, an awe-inspiring stone statue stood, featuring a young girl with arms extended, cradling a tiny star in her hands. Neva knelt before the sculpture, brushing away the overgrowth that clung to the stone. Kalen read the inscription etched into the base of the statue, "For the keepers of the light." While observing, a lantern detached from the trees, gracefully floating into Neva's open palms. The lantern was carefully positioned near the hearth, its glow casting a mesmerizing array of vibrant hues that carried an aura of nostalgia. Those who sat by it experienced dreams steeped in the essence of ancient gardens, lofty towers, and whispering oceans. Each visitor discovered a quiet place within the hollow, a chair by the fire, a cozy bed woven from moss, a patient ear that offered solace. The Whispering Hollow expanded, but its essence remained unchanged. Even after Neva and Kalen completed their final journey, their tale lived on, woven into the fabric of the world through stories, wind, and the warm glow of lanterns that hung from the newly grown branches. Whenever a soul yearned for tranquility, the hollow softly spoke, extending a welcoming invitation. "Come home. There's always space for those who seek solace." Years had passed since Kalen and Neva's presence graced the Whispering Hollow, and their garden had reached the final chapter of its earthly bloom. Amidst the gentle whisper of nightfall, a soft-spoken boy named Thylo appeared at the threshold of the hollow, his hair gleaming golden like a field of wheat, and his eyes mirroring the tranquility of a distant body of water. Carrying nothing but a modest satchel woven from moss and embroidered with shimmering star-like trinkets, Thylo unwittingly stumbled upon the hollow, after being beckoned by its gentle call during his dreams. The Whispering Hollow greeted Thylo with a palpable sense of recognition, a wordless welcome that echoed through the atmosphere. The familiar lantern still glimmered in the darkness, their flickering glow bearing a nostalgic touch. Thilo encountered the over-spiral path, but made no objection. Taking a moment, he carefully cleared the tangled growth and delicately repaired the ancient wooden sign. The hollow, rest for all who wander. Within the quaint cottage, a tranquil haven unveiled itself. A cozy hearth, an arranged circle of intricately carved chairs, and a lantern beside the window that still harbored traces of warmth. That night, the rain began to cascade softly, akin to the soothing cadence of lullabies. Thilo nestled into the corner chair, enveloped in a quilt adorned with constellations. He ignited the lantern and unveiled an ancient book that had been carefully tucked away in a drawer, exuding aromas of fragrant sage and calming lavender. The pages of the book were filled with stories that unraveled a rich tapestry. The tale of Neva's dreamlike garden, the chronicles of Kalen's forge, where more than mere metals were fashioned, and the legend of the Grove of Lanterns, where memories came to life. Time rolled by like a gentle river, and Thilo remained, not out of obligation, but from an abundance of love. Gradually new arrivals appeared, lost souls and dreamers and children who chased after butterflies. Thilo offered each one a welcoming cup and stories from the ancient book, never asking for names, unless they felt inclined to divulge them. The hollow didn't require explanations, only the presence of those who sought peace. With each visitor who joined the circle, the hollow grew, embellished with additional seats, cozy beds, and additional quiet sanctuaries beneath the blooming trees. A week unfolded within the realm of the Whispering Hollow, transitioning from rain to misty mornings and ultimately to soft golden hours. Philo resumed planting seeds, not only for flora but also for intangible emotions, peace, wonder, stillness, and hope. One morning, he caught sight of a novel presence. Near the center of the hollow, where an ancient oak once stood proudly, a sapling had taken root. Distinct from the other trees, it emitted a soft phosphorescent glow even under the sun's golden rays. With gentle steps, Thilo cautiously advanced towards the radiant sapling. Upon reaching out his hand, a harmonious hum enveloped the surroundings, originating from the hollow itself, a melody resurfacing after a long lull. This tree, referred to only in ancient tales, blossomed when the hollow was prepared, when its guardian had kindled sufficient hearts, pacified numerous tempests, and ignited adequate lanterns. Under Thylo's nurturing care, the legendary lantern tree had been successfully rejuvenated. That evening, the lanterns hung from the lantern tree suddenly flickered to life without being ignited, casting mesmerizing light around the hollow. As Thylo observed this phenomenon, the air appeared to shimmer, and from the lanterns, delicate wisps materialized. Through these fleeting images, he beheld fragments of the past. He witnessed Neva's laughter echoing within the garden, Kalen's forge ablaze with purpose, the sight of weary travelers seeking respite amongst comfortable blankets, children frolicking beside a babbling brook, and animals comfortably resting on window ledges. The Whispering Hollow had remembered. As days passed, more weary souls sought solace in the Whispering Hollow, finding themselves in its embrace. A painter who had misplaced the ability to dream, a young baker burdened by a sense of cold, and an aging knight bereft of joy arrived. Thilo greeted them all with open arms, brewing calming tea infused with soothing lavender and mint, meticulously piecing together star-speckled quilts, and extending the circle of chairs who sought solace. Some would remain a fleeting night, while others would take root for a lifetime. Perhaps you ventured into the Whispering Hollow through the realm of dreams, the realm of memory, or perhaps even the rain. No matter how you arrived, the lanterns here were ignited for you, and the rain outside your window sings a soft welcome. So, rest your weary eyes, dear traveler. Inhale the quiet of this place. The stories can wait for another moment. When sunlight once more blankets your windows, the hollow shall remain as always, an unwavering harbor for your weary soul. We shall meet again, in your next tale, within the Lumenverse.